What's going on, people? McGarren Flack, and good afternoon, because it's not morning time. I just got back from Salt Lake and I got this package in the mail. I didn't know when it was going to come, and it's a live plant, and it is coming from Peaceful Heritage Nursery in Kentucky. And I'm pretty excited because I ordered 2 pawpaws. These were pretty expensive pawpaws. They are a different variety than I've ever had, and right now I had 2 pawpaws that still have not grown very good. They haven't grown any leaves at all. And one, the Pennsylvania Golden, that's really struggling. So I'm thinking Pennsylvania Golden, not so good in desert environments. Probably because it's so far up north. Anyways, so I got 2 others that I'm gonna try out. And these are specialty ones that were grown by Peaceful Heritage. So let me open up the box and let's take a look, see what's inside. Okay, I'm gonna scoot back so you can see this. Maybe you can see it. I'll just hold it up. All right, so opening up the package, they have the pawpaws taped in here, which is totally understandable when they're gonna be shipped across country. So let's pull them out. There's 2 of them. There's some dead leaves that are in there, but these are kind of big pawpaws packed into a small box. But they still look like they're alive. This one is Jerry's Big Girl Pawpaw. Jerry's Big Girl. And it's supposed to produce some pretty nice big fruit. We have a bifurcation that's going on here with some growth. It does not look that good. And I'm a little confused. So what I'm confused with is when I purchased this, it ended up costing me a lot of money. I think about $125 for this tree and $125 for the other tree. And the reason why I'm a little confused is because my understanding is that they were supposed to be 1 inch. And my understanding is that's what the trunk was supposed to be, but that doesn't look like 1 inch. And there's a root, huge root, that's coming out the bottom here. Don't know if you can see that. And it's the same thing with the other one. This next one, ooh. Okay, has a little bit of rot on it, which is totally fine. It was just getting shipped across the country and it was probably really hot. A lot of leaves that are off. I hope these survive, please. This one is the Byrd Pawpaw. Okay, most important thing, now that I have them opened and out of the package, I need to make sure that they get watered and I need to train them to be outside. It's 105 degrees this week, but I'm gonna slowly introduce them into the heat each day. So for the first day, it'll be 30 minutes, not in direct sun, it'll be in the morning. Next day, it'll be an hour. Next day, it'll be maybe a couple of hours. And then the next day, hopefully a couple of hours and a little bit of sun. And watering every single day because these pots are teeny. They're like 2 by 2 inches by 10 inches maybe. And because they're so small, these pawpaws don't like to be disturbed once they've rooted down really good. And they look like they're good pawpaws to a certain degree. They have good sized leaves. Maybe they've just been in transport for too long, too much heat. Maybe they're too dry because the bottom's open and it's slightly moist in the bottom, but there are a lot of dead leaves. So I'm gonna try to acclimatize it to the environment and then I will plant them. And I'll continue the video on planting after I've gotten these guys acclimatized to the outdoors. So I hope that makes sense. Here we go. We're gonna plant these babies. I'll show you where I'm planting them and how I have everything set up. Happy pawpaw.
Okay, it's morning time. Almost July 1st. So it's pretty hot. I mean, it's 80 degrees right now, which is not too bad. But this is where I had the black shade cloth for my 2 pawpaws. The Tay2, which is over there, and then this one. I keep forgetting the name of this one. It is, the KSU Atwood. So Atwood is growing pretty good, and the T2, not so much. The graft part is officially dead, but there is some new growth coming down at the base of it, but I'm just not going to mess with it because that is a seedling and not the KC or the T2 seedling. So I'm removing this and going to plant my new pawpaw that I just ordered. Hopefully it will do better. And then here is the Prima, and this is the Ultra Select. And then here is where I'm gonna plant the second pawpaw after I remove all the stuff. So I'm gonna remove the topsoil, not let any of it get in, and plant my two pawpaws here, and hopefully they will do good. Hey, look at that. Nice little lizard. What up, dude? Lizard, hi. Oh, scared him off. All right, this is the T2 that I just pulled out of the ground. Look at the root structure. Hardly anything on it except for this new one. It's that new root, and then it was starting to get to the surface and it was going to break free. Want to break free. Yep, break free to burst through that soil. And here, if you look on the edge, there's green. If I zoom up, there we go. There's a little bit green. So this new root growth is what was feeding that little guy, I'm assuming. We'll zoom in, there we go, that little guy. But I just wanted to show you what the root system looks like. And this one, if I remember correctly, it was in a pot that was not long, and the taproot, which is right here, was pressured into the side of the pot. And then it looks like it tried to grow another taproot that decided to go up instead of down, which I don't know how root structures of pawpaws work, but I thought that that was kind of interesting to be able to show you that. So if you see that your pawpaw dies, there's no hurt in digging it up and seeing what actually happens. But I think it was because this was root bound that it was not successful, not because of the soil that I have. Speaking of soil, that's what I have there, which is relatively sandy soil. It has it's all inert material, so sand, clay, silt, and then I have all my mulch that is sitting around it, but I will plant the other tree right there. Okay, you saw the unboxing of this nice little guy. There's only 5 leaves that are left on it. There were a lot of dead leaves in the box, but that'll happen during the summer for shipping. This one is Jerry's Big Girl. That's the name of it. And it is in a long container, which is necessary for these guys. I already have my hole, and I'm just gonna make sure that I have the correct height, which is about right. It's level on with that soil. I'm gonna have it just a little bit higher in case it goes down. So making sure that soil level is in relationship to soil level, which is right about there. And then you take this guy and you flip it upside down. I don't know if I'll be able to do this on camera with holding it, but you flip it upside down, put your fingers like this on both sides of it. Let me rearrange so I have a better grip. There we go, like that, so that all the soil doesn't come out. Flip it upside down, and then you pull the back of this off. So I'm gonna see if I can do this. Oh, also, another side note, this is not so good. See that? See that right there? That's the root coming out the bottom. So this has been in there for a while, but gonna take it off now. All right, there we go. See, a little bit of root bound, but that taproot goes deep and down. That's a really nice root system. I'm going to not disturb this root system. You gotta just plant it the way that it is. So I'll take it, flip it back over, and put it in the hole. There we go. All right, now it's just filling in and making sure that it is vertical. Trying not to get any compost, I mean, because that's basically potting mix right there. But I want to have sand around here, which is good draining soil. It has a little bit of lava rock that is mixed in with it and a little bit of perlite, and just compress it. And we are still vertical, and that's not tilted weird or anything. But take it and compress it. Fill in the soil so it's more level. And I have already made a berm. This is where the T2 is located. So I've made a little berm. Around this guy, so that when the water comes in, it'll fill up into the berm instead of leaking out into the surrounding areas. So now I'm going to take some water, fill it in here, fill up the berm, and get any air bubbles, air pockets, that's the word, out of the soil if there is any. All right, that's basically it. So number 1 is planted. Let's go to number 2. Okay, amazing. I was not even planning on this. This was one of those Supreme ones. I haven't done anything to this. Haven't watered it, anything. And look at what is going on here. I took off some of the green, but it is growing. What the heck? That is crazy. In this heat and temperature, it was all under that stuff. Look at how dry the ground is. I mean, that is pretty dry stuff. An inch down, it's not too dry. So this seedling is wanting to grow. You know what? I just gotta let it grow. So I will plant next to it. But that's amazing. Look at that. Here, I'm gonna zoom in with the camera. Boom. Okay, you can see all these feeder roots that are sitting right here. Even in this dry soil. I just pulled this guy out, and I'm gonna let this one grow. So I'm gonna pull out this one too. So its focus is on growing that one. And just a foot away, right over here, zoom out, right over here, I'm gonna plant another one, just in case that guy decides not to grow. Or if it does, then I'm gonna have 2 that are gonna be close to each other, and that'll be fine. But I hope that works out. All right, let's get the second one in the ground. Okay, this one is the Free Byrd, named after a guy that would grow pawpaws, but you can see there's 2 major roots that are coming down the bottom there. There are only a couple of leaves on here, but a couple are growing out, new growth, so that's good. Here is, whoa, if I'm sliding in. Here is the Ultra Supreme Select, whatever it's called, pawpaw, and I'm going to plant it relatively close. So again, making sure that I'm level, pretty level there. This is kind of at a slope, so I want to make it a little bit taller than it should be. Again, I'm going to place both my fingers on the side, flip it upside down, pull it out, if it'll pull out. There's a root that was stuck around the edge of it. Okay, there we go. Pulled out. Sorry, there was an ant on me. Look at the root system on that. That is a lot of rootage going on. Okay, and I'm gonna take this, plant it in there, make sure that it is vertical, and fill it in with soil. There we go. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Ta-da! There's lots of ants around here. I must have hit a nice little area of ants. compact it just a little bit. More soil. Get some of these rocks out. So again, this side also has a mixture of sand, silt perlite, and lava rock. Try this out. Okay, now I'll make a berm for it so that the water stays in there. We're vertical, looking good. Sorry that the sun is behind me. You know, I can't move the sun, so I thought I'd just adapt. Either way, here is what I'm gonna use to fertilize. This is fish emulsion, pretty well diluted. I'm gonna pour that in with the pawpaw trees so that I can start with the nutrients to get down to the roots. Then I have this organic and natural Dr. Earth. And you might ask yourself, okay, why would I use this if it's for vegetable and herb? It's simply an organic fertilizer that is low in see, it just has 4% nitrogen. If you can see that, I hope you can see that. 6% phosphorus, potash is 3%, and calcium is 7.5. So it is just natural stuff: kelp, alfalfa, fishbone meal, feather meal, rock phosphate, kelp flour. Anyway, so I'm using this, and then I'm also going to be placing the Osmocote Plus in there. This is slow release, and it has 11 nutrients. So because I have sand and not a lot of clay to hold on to minerals, I do have some lava rock in there, but I want to make sure that it is getting enough nutrition. I'm not going to overload it, but just put in enough around the base, and then I'm going to cover it with the mulch because it decreases the temperature by 40 degrees just by putting mulch over the top of it, and they can survive. Then I will cover them, just like the other pawpaws, with this shade, and I need to do it pretty quick because it's about 90 degrees now. Okay, just finishing this up. Planted them, put this protective cover over it, metal mesh, with a shade cloth attached to it. We do get some winds that are pretty heavy up here, sometimes even 60-mile-an-hour winds, but they have done okay. I put another little wrap around the small one that has some new growth at the base that I found out while planting these, which is phenomenal. I mean, I think that's just so exciting. I mean, you might think, oh, well, why wouldn't it grow, McGarren? And I would say, well, that's an excellent question. In the desert, most things just die. They don't really grow. But these guys are doing really good. This is it's like 3.5 feet high, almost 4 feet high. It's crazy. And this other one, this was the Prima. Hey, there's a praying mantis at the top of it. I don't know if it can, there it goes. See the praying mantis? Man, that's beautiful. Ding. All right, and then we come to this one that I have covered, and it's pretty loose on there. It is attached at the base for all these, so it's not going to fly off with the wind. It's attached to the metal support that protects it from rodents getting in there and eating these things. But I hear that rodents don't really like pawpaws anyway. So if we look in here, you can see there's the newly planted pawpaw. So after I planted them, I sprayed everything down with some water so the wood chips get a little bit of moisture and we'll hold on to that. That'll also decrease the temperature, hopefully. So that's it for the pawpaws and the planting of the pawpaws. We will see how well they do this summer. I'll keep you updated on those two and the ones that are currently growing. All right, have a stellar day.